Bobby Robson's life was full of wins, but his ending was nothing less than heartbreaking. He hid his pain from the world, but now it's time to uncover the truth and show the world how big of a hero he was. Bobby Robson, born on February 18, 1933, in Sacriston, County Durham, had quite a humble beginning. He was the fourth of 5 boys, and when he was just a few months old, his family moved to Langley Park. His dad was a coal miner, and they lived in a small house with no bath and an outside toilet. Despite these simple beginnings, Bobby's love for football was too much to handle, and what else was too much to handle was his battle with the rarest type of cancer, which we'll talk about exactly 2 minutes from now. In the meantime, every Saturday, Bobby and his dad would make a 34-mile round trip to watch Newcastle United play at St James's Park, and that's where a legend was being made. Fun fact, Bobby's heroes were Jackie Milburn and Shackleton, who played the same position Bobby would later play. Coincidence much? Speaking of school, he went to Langley Park Primary School and then Waterhouse's Secondary Modern School. Although he didn't pass his 11+ exam, it didn't stop him from pursuing football. Since his school team couldn't join a league, he played for Langley Park Juniors. By 15, he was already playing for their under-18 team. Then, at 15, Bobby left school to become an electrician's apprentice at the local colliery, but football was always his passion. In May 1950, Fulham's manager Bill Dodgin visited Bobby's home to offer him a professional contract. Despite an offer from Middlesbrough and interest from Newcastle, Bobby chose Fulham. He felt he had a better chance to make the first team there and thought Newcastle didn't try hard enough to sign him. Bobby also had partial deafness in one ear, which meant he didn't have to do national service, allowing him to focus entirely on football. A blessing in disguise, right? Now, even after signing a professional contract, Robson's dad made him keep his job as an electrician, so he spent his days working at the Festival of Britain site and trained 3 nights a week at Fulham. Eventually, this hectic schedule got to him, and he decided to focus entirely on football. Robson debuted for Fulham in 1950 in a game against Sheffield Wednesday. Fulham had just been promoted to the First Division. Robson liked Fulham, describing it as a nice club, a social club, but he didn't see them as serious contenders for championships. Fulham was relegated in the 1951-52 season, but Robson got back to the First Division in 1956 when he joined West Bromwich Albion for a record fee of $25,000. His debut for West Brom wasn't great. They lost 4-0 to Manchester City, but in the 1957-58 season, Robson became the club's top scorer with 24 goals, including 4 in a win against Burnley. Mostly playing as a midfielder, he scored 61 goals in 257 matches for West Brom and captained the team for 2 seasons. In 1962, after a dispute over his salary, Robson returned to Fulham. Then, in 1967, Robson moved to Canada to be the player manager for the Vancouver Royals in the NASL. He saw it as an exciting opportunity, but the job was tough due to joint ownership issues with Ferenc Puskás. When Fulham offered him a manager position in 1968, he accepted, and from then on, there was no going back. But before we segue into his managerial success, Brownie points to him for also being an amazing international player. On the international stage, Robson's career started with tours in the West Indies and South Africa, while at Fulham. He got his first England call-up in 1956 when he was with West Brom. Robson made 20 appearances for England, scoring twice in his debut against France. He played in the 1958 World Cup, but was disappointed with the team's performance. Robson became a regular for England, enjoying success until an ankle injury before the 1962 World Cup ended his international career. Bobby Moore took his place, and Robson never played for England again, feeling that his international career was unfulfilled. Now, coming back to his managerial career, Bobby Robson's managerial career kicked off in the late 1950s when he decided to take a coaching course, suggested by the then England manager Walter Winterbottom. This set him on a path that saw him eventually managing Fulham, where he started his management career in 1968. Despite his efforts, including signing a promising player named Malcolm MacDonald, Fulham still got relegated, and Robson found out he was fired from a newspaper headline of all things. After leaving Fulham, Robson took over Ipswich Town in 1969. It took a bit of time to get things going, but he eventually turned Ipswich into a successful team. He spent 13 years there, achieving great things like winning the UEFA Cup in 1981. Robson was really good at developing young players and had a knack for getting the best out of his team. His success at Ipswich led to him being offered the job of England's national coach in 1982. He had some tough times with England, like when they lost a crucial match to Denmark, and he even offered to resign. But he also had some great moments, especially leading England to the semi-finals of the 1990 World Cup, which was a massive deal. After his time with England, Robson went on to manage clubs in the Netherlands, Portugal, and Spain. Each job brought new challenges and experiences. In the Netherlands with PSV Eindhoven, he was surprised at how openly players discussed tactics. Over in Portugal, he managed Sporting CP and Porto, where he dealt with tricky club politics and met José Mourinho, who would become a famous manager himself. At Barcelona, he coached big stars like Ronaldo and won several trophies. Through it all, Robson was more than just a manager. He was deeply respected for his commitment to the game, his ability to develop players, and his genuine love for football. So far so good, right? Until one day everything went downhill. Robson had a curse, and that involved him staying unhealthy forever. Robson's health issues began in 1991 when he was diagnosed with malignant melanoma, a form of skin cancer. Despite this serious condition, he continued his career undergoing treatment and making a recovery. However, his health battles were far from over. In 1995, Robson faced another challenge when he was diagnosed with colon cancer. This required surgery and further treatment, but once again he managed to overcome the illness and continued his work in football. Then, in 2006, Robson was diagnosed with a tumour in his lung. He underwent surgery to remove the tumour and received further treatment to prevent the cancer from spreading. Despite these health issues, Robson remained actively involved in football, demonstrating his remarkable resilience and passion for the game. Unfortunately, in 2007, Robson was diagnosed with a cancerous tumour in his brain. He underwent surgery and radiotherapy, which initially seemed successful. Yet, the cancer returned, and in 2008, he revealed that he was battling lung cancer for the second time. Sadly, on July 31, 2009, Robson passed away at his home in County Durham after battling lung cancer for a long time. He was 76. The news of his death brought a wave of tributes from the football world and beyond. Manchester United's Sir Alex Ferguson called him a great friend, a wonderful person, and a fantastic football man. Robson's funeral was a private family ceremony on August 5, 2009, held in Esh, County Durham. His family kept the location secret until after the ceremony. All in all, Bobby Robson's life is a true story of determination and passion. Growing up in a small coal mining village, he didn't have much, but what he did have was a huge love for football. This passion took him from playing in local teams to becoming one of the most respected names in international football, both as a player and a manager. His journey wasn't easy. Bobby faced many challenges, not just in his career but also with his health, battling cancer multiple times, yet he never let these hardships defeat him. As a manager, he had a knack for bringing out the best in young players and leading teams to success, gaining admiration all over the world. Bobby Robson's story doesn't just end with his passing, it continues to inspire anyone who hears about how he faced life with grit and grace. If you're moved by stories of real perseverance and love for what you do, why not subscribe to our channel for more? Share this video to spread Bobby Robson's incredible journey. Give it a like if it inspired you, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest posts. Thanks for watching.